Hi, I'm Travis Mulliniks. I'm a range nutritionist and extension specialist for UNL, and I'm excited about this project, the Gudmundsen Sandhills Laboratory, our senior project that we feel like, from a producer standpoint, it would be extremely beneficial for our stakeholders. It'll be really beneficial for our ability as a research facility and a ranch operation as well. So I'm Travis Mulliniks, and so I oversee Gudmundsen. Oversee the ranch operations, the crew there. Dr. Yiji Yang is a part of this as well. She's a precision livestock management specialist located in Lincoln. I'm located in North Platte on the western end of the state. And then John Nollett's our ranch manager, and Jackie Musgrave is my technician. Both of those are located at Gudmundsen. This is a quick overview of Gudmundsen. So we're a little short of 13,000 acre ranch. And so we run east to west, about 7 miles long, and then anywhere from 1 mile to 5 miles wide at our thinnest to the widest part. And so we're fairly small in operations compared to a lot of our counterparts in the state, but we're a fairly decent size from the standpoint of a ranch research facility. And so we just still deal with a lot of extensive environments of pastures. It's over 1,000 acre pastures. And this can create a headache of data management, data collection, and we'll get into that here in a second. So from a standpoint of our inventory, so we've got 2 calving seasons. We've got a March calving herd and a May calving herd. And this is really dictated by the needs of our stakeholders. We've got cows across the states calving in the springtime. We've got a lot of herds calving in May. And so we run 2 different calving seasons. And so this can be a little bit of headache of data management across those 2 herds. From the research standpoint, we really set up a lot of our research from a systems approach. And so like any producer in the state, they manage their cow herd or their ranch in a system. It's just not nutrition. It's just not reproduction or genetics or range or forage. And so it's like any business. We all have systems we deal with. We have all different working integral parts of that system. That's very important to the whole system that we work in. And so we try to design our research projects around the complete system that allow us to give information and provide solutions to problems that producers face in real time versus just strictly nutrition or reproduction problems. But there's challenges with us, and there's challenges with producers in the state. And so we feel the same constraints as they do is narrow profit margins, increased feed and labor costs, large extensive environments. Some of our pastures, 1,000 to 2,000 acres, are relatively small to some of our neighbors who have 15 to 40,000 acres. But we deal in these large, extensive environments that we don't see our cow very often. It's hard to collect data. It's hard to make decisions off of that data due to their location and where they are. And so we'll cover a little bit about that, of what we're doing in the future to combat those issues. And we have a large amount of unintegrated data, meaning that I've got data on this cow, these set of cows that we take body weight data, body condition score, the fat thickness of these cows across different time points. We've got reproduction data, we've got calf data, weaning weight, but it's not integrated where I can make a decision from it easily because it's stored in, let's say, Excel. And so there's really a big lack of robust data management tools for producers. As a database manager that I can store my data from our production records, that would give me ability to make a decision from that data very rapidly. Say if I'm in a drought situation, I need to sell 20 to 40 cows. Which cows do I sell? And so we're needing analytical packages within database management that allow me to select cows that maybe are lower margin cows that are not producing as well or trending that way for multiple calf crops, then I can easily select those cows and get rid of them. And so we're really lacking from industry those ability of taking these databases or these data coming from different production measurements into one integrated system. So there's really no decision-making ability today on the market. There's really a lack of tracking trends of your production, your cost, of your cow herd performance, et cetera. And so that creates a large challenge for our producers. So a quick overview of what we think will be really important, what we think will really help us is in twofold. Is our objective one is within this cloud-based tool system is a database application tool that integrates our cow production data. Now I'll show you a little bit of that. And the second phase of this is the interactive Internet of Things platform with analytical ability while connecting multiple data collection technologies. And so those are really two big focuses of what we need. I think what would really benefit us moving forward from a research and just a production standpoint. So when I talk about data or technology on the ranch, ranch management can be extremely difficult because there's a lot of data that we collect that it's hard to make decisions off of stuff that's not integrated. But it's really impossible without that data and without that information. So I want to provide a platform or create a platform that I can make decisions from our data that make ranching a little less difficult. Information is really power, but it's only partially correct. You have all the information in the world, but if you don't do anything with it, it's useless. And that's where we're at with the industry. So many times is we've got a lot of data, but it's useless because we have no ability to actually make decisions from it. So this is one of our current data management for a lot of producers, for a lot of us. It's either this or it's written down in a notebook. It's pen and paper. And so we deal with a lot of stuff in Excel. And so we have long-term data in Excel, and there's a lot of different variables that go in this. This makes it extremely difficult in any of the current database managing tools is they're not flexible and they're not robust. They include what we need and what a lot of producers need to be included into that to help them to make decisions. So I think about an integrated database. And so looking at cow performance within years and cross years, I may have that cow for 5, 10 years. And I need to make a decision on maybe which herd she needs to go to or which bull that she needs to be bred to, depending on the trending data of her performance across those years. We've got calf performance from pre-weaning time up to weaning, and then post-weaning when we feed them out in our feedlot and get post-weaning performance and carcass data. So how can we integrate all of that into one platform? Also full performance, not from a growth standpoint, but who is siring or what? So we've got a herd that we may have 3 or 4 bulls out during breeding season within that group of cows. And you may have one bull that's breeding more cows than the other. So a platform that may help me make that decision of, this bull has only bred 2 cows in a pasture of 100 cows, that I need to get rid of that bull. We collect a lot of hay production data each year. We got costs and expenses that should go into this database. Our grazing records, we've got over 30 different pastures that we graze of integrated grazing records into this database that we quickly look up where those cows are and how long they've been there. And yearly rainfall and forage quality as well. So an integrated system that integrates all these into one platform to help us really look narrow down and look at be able to make good decisions from. The second part of that is something a little over my head from being a nutritionist, but it's a Internet of Things concept and connecting these different analytical tools with different multiple data streams. And so going forward, what's important with this for us is I'm leading a team on this concept of Ranch Innovation Center. So we're bringing a lot of technology. And so technologies really have lacked in the cow-calf production systems due to several different factors. But we're thinking about technology standpoint as the one that oversees Gudmundsen. And I can sit here on my computer and I can oversee everything. I can really real-time monitor cow performance. from individual animal measurements, of precision animal management, from body weights, feed intake, etc. I can look at what's my forage foliage and quantity from my office. And so how can we integrate some of these collection streams of different technologies into one platform? So this is one tool that I've had for the last few years, and I'm getting multiple of these going forward, is these individual animal feeding systems. Cow with the EID in their ear or electronic identification device in their ear will walk up to this feeder in this picture, and it knows who it is. And so I can allot that cow to 1 pound per day of feed, and it'll start dropping its feed. And I can control what's that supplement intake. And so there's some variation there, but it creates a huge amount of data given across that feeding period. But it does help with decreased labor, decreased feed costs. I can be very targeted, but it creates a lot of data, a lot of ways to make decisions that sometimes can be very clumsy or cumbersome for us to make in the current platform that we get that data. Another component that we're moving into with this is individual animal weighing systems, that I can weigh those cows on a daily basis. You know, think about where we've got cows in a 1,000-acre pasture, and to get a body weight on them, I've got to bring them in. It's a facility that may be several miles away, and that's huge on cost. And so we're looking at weighing systems that I can get a daily body weight on those cows, that I can make a decision of I'm not feeding enough or I'm feeding too much. And I can change that across those real-time parameters to be very strategic, but it also creates huge amount of data that needs to be integrated with that feeding system or that data back from that feeding system to really make quality decisions. And another component that Dr. Yiji Young and I've been working on is camera-based systems to predict body weight. And this is a slide of hers. Is I can use a camera that can predict body weight and body condition score. That camera can send that back and analyze it through AI, and it'll give you an estimate of what that cow weighs, what's trending. If my cows are getting too thin, I need to intervene. And what point do I need to intervene? And so how can we integrate some of these tools like this into one platform? And so this is a slide from Yiji that she's working on a lot of Internet of Things with GPS. And so a network connection can be either used by Ethernet backhaul or cellular data packages. And we use a lot of cellular data packages for those precision animal feeders that I have. But her end user interface application rely on GPS sensor companies. And so she wants to move away from that and to have her own interface that's less costly, but it also fits in the stuff I'm doing. And so we have this one interface to deal with of our own. And so she really deals, and this was this one of the companies she deals with this, but it's really a company dependent user interface. And so she depends on those GPS companies to access real-time sensor data. Here is GPS data. The platform does not provide any customization associated with our recurring fee. So it doesn't really fit her needs or our needs from a research standpoint. So we'd like to develop this interface that has streaming to and from the Things network. This is individual sensor data recording. The picture on the left is some GPS data from one of her projects of looking where those cows are and how they're grazing that pasture. We'd like to combine that with some basic data processing. Because like any of this, we get a lot of data per day. And how can we process it, or the ability to process it is very important. But with technologies, we've got challenges. And data integration is one of the largest challenges our producers are faced with using any of these technologies. And so how can we combine some of these multiple sources into one package to have an analytical ability? A lot of the software out there is not user-friendly. So we don't use it, producers are not going to use it because it's not user-friendly. And connectivity can be an issue when we're out in these extensive environments as well. But we really want something that can be translated to meaningful production action. It's cost effective, it's flexible, robust, reliable, and can make decisions or help with decision making to help producers be more sustainable in the long. So with that, I'm glad to take any questions anytime. This is my contact. We're really excited about this project. We're really excited about the opportunity to work with students developing, this platform to help us with not only with our decision-making ability, but something our producers would jump on board and utilize.